Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Marketing Botics podcast. All right, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about analytics and in particular website analytics, but it doesn't matter what you're using. Analytics across all platforms, all mediums, everything is so important. I've just got off a meeting with a client where we're just talking about the analytics and what they want next, and our involvement in setting up what's called Tag Manager on Google Analytics and making sure that we get all that right for them. And you know, analytics is very important, and you need to make sure that you are monitoring your successes and your failures, and seeing what's happening with all your marketing material and collateral, and being able to know what to do next. So we're going to break that down in this video. Okay, so analytics, website analytics, Facebook analytics, Instagram analytics, YouTube analytics, Google analytics. Or if I said that, website analytics, you got Google My Business and you got your website analytics, LinkedIn analytics, and then all the other platforms that exist as well. You could even get analytics via the amount that you post. I know people out there who deliver leaflets for you now have tracking services, so they can tell you exactly how many people they have delivered to on a certain street. So when people are calling up and asking you, you can get an address, and from that address you can tell if it was part of the leaflet drop in which has happened, or you can just ask them. I do know that, you can do analytics when people are delivering your leaflets around homes as well. But analytics is so important. It's really important to make sure that you know what is working. And again, when I say analytics, people think, Google Analytics, so Google Google Analytics, GA4, what it is now, and monitor how many people come to your website. It's more than that. It really is. When people come to your website, are you monitoring them to see what pages they're looking at, what your bounce rate is? Are you there only looking at one page and leaving? What their exit point is, what page are they leaving from? Maybe that's when they get bored, or they don't get the information, or they get the information that they need. Are you considering how many signups you get? If you're not getting any of that, then you really need to. And it all starts back at just Google Analytics for your website. And seeing how many people are coming to your website, if it's up or down. And trust me, at the moment, it's down for a lot of people. Google Analytics, Google have made some algorithm changes, and it's made bigger companies a little bit more easy to push themselves, and the smaller businesses that were ticking along with a small budget are finding it harder in order to break that ground now. And obviously there are a few things in between, but even if you are targeting a trending, being seen for a certain keyword, is that bringing in the right people? Just saying as a decorator, let's say, just saying spray paint, and you're getting, 300-400 hits a month on that. Is that people looking for cars? Is that people looking to buy cans, so they can do some graffitiing? How many of that is actually relevant to you? And in order to do that, you need to make sure that you've set up some landing pages, and also some forms on those landing pages, so you can see how many gets targeted. So let's just say we set up a website page that is all about spray painting, decorating your kitchen, and we optimize that for the keyword spray paint. And then what happens is Google picks that up and they'll start sending people to that page or to that blog. And then you've got a form on that blog, and the amount of people that fill in that form kind of gives you an idea of how many people landed on that page for the right reason. And then when you compare that with your analytics, you get a good idea of if that keyword is working for you. And it's amazing how many people I speak to go, I'm getting 3,000-4,000 hits a month. How many leads are you making from the website? Well, none. And that's because you're targeting the wrong keywords. You really are. And knowing your analytics is really, really important. It's vital to know what is actually happening. But it's not just about Google Analytics. It's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's all your social media channels, LinkedIn, to know how well that is working for you. And when you speak to people and say, most people say, have you seen me on Facebook? And they'll be like, yeah, okay, cool, Facebook's working. But they never asked them, have you seen me on Instagram or LinkedIn? Because maybe they have too, maybe they're working. Or sometimes people say, well, how did you see me? And they'll be like, well, I found your website. Okay, good. So my Google's working. Brilliant. But what you forgot to ask them is, by the way, did you also see my social media? And they'll be like, well, yeah, of course I did. I went to Facebook first, clicked on the link that took me to your website. It's just that the website was the last thing they saw. So that's in their mind. But you need to know the other places that they've been to. Then it helps you understand if your marketing is working. And it's about collecting these analytics to make sure that you know what is happening. Let's just take leaflet drops as well. As I said, if you're a decorator and you're in a local area, and you go out and you deliver leaflets, and you want to see how that's responding, how that's working. Well, the easiest thing would be is wait to see how many people are phoning you up, and you say, when you get the address, if that's worked. But not everyone's going to phone up, and in fact, you might drop off 100, 200 leaflets, and no one phones up because they're not ready to buy. But if you change the URL of that website at the bottom, so it could be mydecorators.com/, local to you, or SW1, or something like that just is unique to that area, then you can see how many people are actually clicking or typing in that page on your website. QR codes work really good. If you get a QR code on a flyer as well that goes direct to a certain page, then you can monitor how many people use that QR code. So there's many different ways in which you can actually monitor the analytics on a leaflet drop around your local area. I know if you get someone to do it, hire a company, they have tracking devices on their people, so you can actually see where the person's going, and then they will tell you how many they've been delivered to certain areas. And you can get a good idea of what's working for your money. So there's so many different places in which you can monitor analytics. I can go on forever, but the important thing is just making sure that you collect it all. Even if you're not using it all now, at least if you collect it, then you can go back to look at it. So, by collecting addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, those addresses, knowing whereabouts people live, will give you a good idea of kind of the indication of your hotspots. So you might I live in Sheffield, so I might look and go, okay, a lot of people are in this side of Sheffield. That's the address that they're giving me, the streets and the area postcode. Actually, they're quite wealthy houses up there. So, I'm clearly targeting the wealthy houses up there or trending with them. Brilliant. Or you might look and go, okay, that's not a wealthy area. And in fact, I know I'm going to struggle to get people to pay my prices in that area. So I need to start thinking about my marketing and going elsewhere. And you might not get to that to another 6 months, 7 months, a year down the line before you actually do it. So at least if you collect that information now, then it means you've got it for the future. This is what I say about about Facebook Pixel. If you get a Facebook Pixel up on your website ready, then you might not be using it now because you might not be running ads, but it means it's collecting the data. So further down the line, your ads are going to be easier. It's better than thinking about it later on and going, well, I've got no marketing material. And there's so many different places that you can start collecting analytics, different marketing channels and different pieces of collateral in order to gain the information that you want. Now, for me, the one place that you need is a CRM system, so you can start collating all this. It's really important that you get a CRM system up and running, so you can start adding people's details, and then you can start seeing trends and using that as places for your analytics. But in the meantime, until that's up and running, the main thing that you need to do is one, get a website up and going, whether you get a WordPress website or whether you use something like 10Web. 10Web is a AI generated website, so you can go on there and just type in a few keywords and up pops a website for you. Very basic. It's about $20 a month, I think, but it's quite powerful to get you started. Then you can get a Weebly one or a Wix one or a Squarespace one. Is Weebly still around? Not sure. To get one up and going, I think eventually, you do need to start looking at getting more of a CRM managed one, than anything else. But for now, I say CRM managed one. No, let me be clear on that, because they're all CRM managed ones. You need to start looking towards WordPress once you start getting bigger and bigger, because that allows you for more SEO opportunities, in my opinion, than the other platforms do. But for now, just start one off anywhere to get something going, and you can place your Facebook pixel on there, your Google Analytics on there, and you can start tracking people that way. And as I said, you can get a QR code set up with someone like Bitly. It has a Bitly logo in there, or there's a free version, a free company out there that you can use as well. I remember I tried it the other week. So yeah, and this way you can start tracking the amount of people that are landing on your website. Bitly does actually tell you how many people use a QR code, so you can start seeing that too. So again, so many different things you can do with analytics, and it's just making sure that you get set up quickly. Not quickly, it's making sure that you get set up now, so you can use that information when you need it down the road. Cool. So that is pretty much everything about analytics. I know I used the decorators as an example there, but it applies to any sector, any medium, absolutely anything at all. It's about analytics and collecting it that's right for your business. Just do it. It works. If you need any more information, you can always reach out to me. If you are listening to the podcast on Shopify, I keep saying Shopify, Spotify, Apple, or Amazon, then make sure you please like it. And same with YouTube, make sure you like my YouTube page. It's really important. It helps me grow, and it gives you access to more vital information that I will be sending out. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Look, I'm not making these as often as I was. My aim was to make one a day. And now I'm just making a couple a week. And that's because I've got really busy, which is good. And that's what we all want. And now I've got really busy. I need to restructure myself to make sure that I got that time coming in. Look, sometimes this happens and it's nothing bad. It gives you an opportunity to look at your setup. I know the way I make content is really fast, so now I just need to make allowances in my day with the other work that I've come on, structure that accordingly to give me the time back in order to do this. So yeah, don't be afraid if you miss it. Just don't miss too much of it. Don't have huge gaps, and do make sure that you're still consistent. Putting something out every week is really, really important. And I will start raising the bar again, because everything for me is working now. I've been doing this for about 2.5 months. And I've got my content going out. I've got I go to network meetings, I've got referral business. It's working a treat now. And I'm really happy with the progress. The only thing I need now is to make sure that I start managing my time more effectively, which is my next thing to do. So yeah, really good. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I am going to be pushing out these videos a little bit more, sending out some ads, driving those forward to let you know how that goes. And if you want to know more information on that, do contact me. Have a great day, everyone.